Hello and welcome to Recreational Reviews. I'm Carl and this channel is dedicated to reviewing games, movies and TV shows. Today I'm diving into the apocalyptic wasteland of Fallout 76, which is available on PS5, PC and the Xbox Series S and X. So before I played Fallout 76, I hadn't really played any other Fallout games before, and like most people, I started playing after watching the Amazon TV series, as well as some convincing from a mate.
Hold still now.
So today I'll be breaking down my thoughts and opinions on Fallout 76 to help you decide if this game's going to be worth your time. So I'll begin with the story and quests. The main story focuses on Reclamation Day, when the residents of Vault 76 are sent out to reclaim and rebuild America. As a Vault dweller, your goal is to help the Overseer of Vault 76, and along the way, you'll be introduced to new factions as well as new enemy types. The quests in Fallout 76 are very well done in my opinion, with excellent narratives and dialogue choices, along with meaningful interactions and consequences. I cannot fault the immersiveness of the main quest lines, and it's not just the main quests either. A lot of the side quests are really well done too, with very engaging stories and plenty of secrets to unlock. So, moving on to the visuals and sound. The world of Appalachia is stunning. Is it the breathtaking graphics seen in games like Elden Ring or Red Dead Redemption 2? Of course not, but it's beautiful all the same. The dynamic lighting and weather systems enhance the atmosphere, from eerie fog-filled nights to breathtaking sunsets, which definitely helps make the world feel more alive. It's not perfect though. Playing on the Series S, sometimes the game can look a little dated, especially with some of the character and creature models, as well as some of the world textures. But the game was released back in 2018 and is essentially an open world FPS MMORPG, so I think we can cut it some slack. Now, Fallout 76 does an excellent job with ambient sound, which enhances the atmosphere of the game. As you explore, you'll hear the rustling of leaves, distant animal calls, howling winds and creaking abandoned structures. These small details really immerse you into the world, making it feel more real and lived in. The creepy environments, especially in the darker areas or during the night, are made even more unsettling by subtle audio cues and distant echoes, or the guttural sounds of creatures lurking nearby. Next up, one of my favourite parts of Fallout 76, which is the world design. When I first started playing, I honestly just spent 2 weeks simply exploring the world of Appalachia. It's such an impressive and immersive world. The map is large, it's diverse and full of iconic locations and regions, such as vibrant and lush forests, desolate polluted wastelands, dark eerie swamps, and ash heaps covered in ash and fire. Each location is filled with details that'll tell the story of what happened before the nukes dropped. Whether through abandoned homes, wrecked factories or makeshift survivor camps, the level of detail in some areas invites exploration and curiosity, rewarding players who investigate every nook and cranny. Okay, so let's talk about your character. You'll be able to create and design your very own character in Fallout 76, with a wide variety of different outfits and armours to wear. And don't worry too much about how your character looks, as you can change your character's appearance at any time. When you first start the game, you'll be able to select a class. This choice ultimately doesn't matter, as you upgrade your character through the perk card system as you level up. This is where you can change and tailor your build to your playstyle. The premise of the perk cards is quite simple. As you level up, you'll gain perk cards, and these can vastly improve your build in completely different ways. For example, if you wanted to be an explorer, you could give yourself better survival perks such as eating and drinking without becoming irradiated. Or if you want to be an absolute tank, invest in weapons and power armour perks. No matter how you play, you can really tailor your build to your playstyle. Okay, now on to the more important stuff and the most likely reason you clicked onto this video, the combat and the gameplay. Fallout 76 is a real-time action game that combines both first and third person mechanics. One of Fallout's main features is the Vault-Tec assisted targeting system, also known as VATS. VATS is a real-time auto-aim feature that locks onto an enemy, enabling you to target different limbs with a percentage chance to hit that target, and I'll admit, VATS took me a while to get used to, but honestly, with a good build, VATS are ridiculously OP. As for the gunplay to me feels precise, fluid, and each weapon type feels unique. Talking about weapon types, you have a large variety of ranged weapons from pistols and assault rifles to miniguns and rocket launchers. The main drawback being, crafting ammo for some of the ranged weapons is a proper blag. As for melee combat, you have a wide variety of weapons to choose from. Blunt weapons such as knuckle dusters and sledgehammers, edge weapons like axes and swords, and even automatic melee weapons like the chainsaw. Most of the time, the melee can feel powerful and satisfying, however sometimes the hit detection can feel unresponsive and laggy, especially in crowded situations. For the most part though, the melee is really fun. I had a great time making different melee builds, from a stealthy assassin with swords and knives to an absolute beast in power armour and a chainsaw, cutting through your enemies like something out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And whilst we're on the subject of enemies, this game has a great variety of wildlife, from pesky wild dogs to huge deathclaws, some of which you can actually tame and have as a pet. You also have humans, mutants, zombie-like ghouls and killer robots amongst other enemies which pose a real threat across Appalachia. And finally, you have the bosses like the Scorch Beast, which is essentially a giant bat-like dragon whose sole purpose is to mess you up. You really can't complain about the variety of enemies in this game. I will warn you though, that some enemies, especially bosses in the late game, feel like bullet sponges, requiring a ridiculous amount of damage to take them out, and usually requires a team to do so. Okay people, so next up is the multiplayer. One good thing about Fallout 76 is it's really good at getting you involved with other players and the community through various optional events. You can play co-op with players at any time, whether following the main quest lines or side quests. There are public events, dungeon crawls, and giant bosses to team up against. And then there's the raids, which ups the difficulty and offers a new challenge to higher level players. Throughout the raids, you'll need to solve puzzles, defeat waves of enemies, and potentially a boss or two, all whilst racing against the clock. And as for the PvP side of multiplayer, you can pretty much shoot anyone you see, but practically you do 0 damage until they attack you back. When you attack or kill a player, you'll gain a bounty on your head and you'll be marked on everyone's map, essentially making you a walking target. The more people you attack and kill, the higher your bounty will be. And if you do manage to kill your opponent, you'll be able to loot any junk that they were carrying. Now for probably my favourite part of Fallout 76, the base building, where you can build your very own home pretty much anywhere you want in the lands of Appalachia via the camp system. You can build anything you can imagine. A small town, a nuclear testing facility, a fighting arena, hell, I even built a small theme park. Your options are practically limitless. And if you're struggling for ideas, there's also countless base building tutorial videos on YouTube which might be worth checking out. With base building there is a build limit, which in my opinion it is very generous. Now there is a major downside to the base building, and that it's going to cost you money. Real world money. If you want to build anything decent like what you'll see in YouTube videos anyway. So although you can get some alright stuff for your base by simply playing the game, such as through vendors across Appalachia, public events and raids, the really awesome stuff is locked within the Atomic Shop and the Fallout for subscription. The Atomic Shop is essentially pure FOMO on steroids, and it updates weekly, meaning if you don't buy the items within a set amount of time, you could miss out. Through the Atomic Shop, you can buy an array of things from camp extensions, prefab buildings, as well as camp items that can give you resources. It doesn't stop there though. You can also buy cosmetic items such as weapon skins, outfits, and power armor skins. Oh, and you can buy extra class and camp slots in the Atomic Shop too. And then there's the Fallout for subscription for around 12 quid a month or 100 quid for a year's subscription. And now you're asking, what does Fallout First get me? Is it needed? Well, the first thing you'll get is 1,650 atoms to spend in the Atomic Shop. You'll get an ammo storage box and a scrap box for junk, which does help with the storage limits, a survival tent, which you can use as a portable base, and you'll also get your very own private server for if you want to play solo, or just with your mates without any randoms. And finally, you'll get the extra items in the Season Battle Pass. Don't worry, you don't need to buy the Battle Pass, but a lot of the best stuff in that Battle Pass will be locked behind Fallout First. Now I get that the game is essentially free to play on all platforms. They use the revenue from the Atomic Shop and the subscriptions from Fallout First to generate new content. But it really winds me up that the Atomic Shop doesn't just have all the stuff available at all times, due to the items rotating, essentially creating super FOMO.
I'm a fool.
Which is a scrubby business tactic in my opinion. Moving on to the bugs and glitches. The main ones I've experienced are server disconnects, suddenly being disconnected from the servers, which can be frustrating as event and mission progress may sometimes be lost upon disconnection. Lag spikes, which can happen now and again, especially in busy combat moments, and the worst offender, quest bugs, where the quest markers don't show up, making it difficult to locate objectives and NPCs, often forcing you to resort to looking at YouTube tutorials just to figure out where to go. Now, these bugs and glitches can be annoying, but ultimately, they didn't ruin my time playing Fallout 76. So, if I could, what would I change or add into Fallout 76? Well, the first thing I would definitely change, like I said earlier, is the Atomic Shop. I would make it just so the shop shows all items ever released, just to get rid of that super FOMO. I would also love for Bethesda to add some sort of vehicles or mounts to traverse the lands of Appalachia. So, is this game worth your time? Hell, yes it is. The game is essentially free unless you choose to spend money, and if you're a fan of FPS games, RPGs, exploring open worlds that contain hidden secrets, or simply enjoy building bases, this game has something for everyone, and it's definitely worth giving a try. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the review, be sure to smack that like button, hit the bell icon, and subscribe for all your reviewing needs. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of Fallout 76? Are you playing it, or are you still on the fence? Until next time peeps, stay frosty.